Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league, and what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check out.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. From the gun, Mayfield. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Darqueze Dennard there defensively. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Tighten down. There you go.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And he's got some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A run with Chubb on first down, not going to be a good one. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield now from the 50. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw here, Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Landry. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. They were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Third and long for Mayfield. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at my coach. Why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. And Eifert has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Going deep here for Landry. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Regular. Pick up the ball. 51's Mike. Mike 51. Bring it. Hey, Mike 51. Hey, alert. 51.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
How about that, partner? That's a gutsy run, a physical run, an explosive run, and he's inside the 10-yard line now. I don't know if you hand it to him again on this play, but make the defense think that you will, and maybe you have some options off of it.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football? This says finish on it, because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect it. He's got to touch it. And off.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Now Joe Mixon. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Landry now on the return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And running with power here. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They go play action. Mayfield. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off. This third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Mayfield to throw it. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 on a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A first carry now for Alex Collins. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They go again with Collins. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Mayfield. Steps away to his left. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Dalton here from the gun. He's got a man, and that's Alex Erickson. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
Uses the stiff arm. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
He's brought down by Williams.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Shoves him aside. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
Good. 180. 51 to Mike. I got one.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
they only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. Chubb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Chubb on 1st down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. 50 seconds, 50 seconds.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Trying to squeeze it in there at this stage of the game. You got to take some chances. Nice job to knock it away, though.
You're so right. Understanding where they are in the game, you got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle. Unable to get it done there.
Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.